Stop scrolling for money advice from people who do not have a license to lose. Welcome back. Hi, if you're new here, I'm listing you some CPA. I help content creators build clean books, smart tax strategy, and financial guidance that actually supports their growth. If you care about scaling your business without chaos and without IRS surprises, you're in the right place. Subscribe today so you don't miss any of our future videos. You handle the content, I handle the numbers, the structure, and the compliance. Let's get into it. Let's talk about hiring a team. If you had talked to me 3 years about this, I would have thought you were crazy. I had a couple part-time bookkeepers and I thought I was fine. In the past 3 years, since November of 2022, the 3.5 years, I now have 12 staff working for me. I didn't know what I didn't know. I didn't know how much my time was being managed outside of myself. And so for me, hiring felt like a growth move, but like I wouldn't be able to afford it. It's a super big financial commitment, right? If you hire too early, cash flow starts feeling super tight. And I had a little bit of that last summer. If you hire too late, you are burned out as a founder. You have missed opportunities by not being able to take on clients and you have slower growth. Back in March of 2023, I had a major client came to me and I wanted to help them. I knew the COO personally. I just didn't think I had it in me. But after I took it all in, quoted it, got a good decent rate, figured out what the work was gonna be like, I was able to hire 2 people that could help me handle that load so that I would just have to review it. So the goal in hiring is to hire when it makes financial sense, number one, not just when you feel overwhelmed. Overwhelmed sometimes can be fixed with processes, right? Taking a half day to really hone in those processes. But when it becomes apparent that growth is what you need with a hire, you need to make sure that it makes financial sense. As someone maybe not in the financial space, I wonder if you've heard the term ROI before, or ROI of a team member. What that actually means is return on investment. Yes, it's not really an investment. You're paying someone a salary, so that money is leaving your hands. However, it is an investment into someone that will hopefully grow with you. For me, my hires are like family. Obviously, there are the HR lengths and distances and all that stuff, but I tell everyone in the interview, I want to hire someone for the long haul. We have not had much turnover in my space. And so your hire should do 2 things. Number 1, either increase your revenue. You're able to take on more clients because of it. Or 2, free up your time so that you can generate more revenue. If neither is happening, it's not an investment, it's an expense, and it's not helping you grow. So let's define that break-even point. Break-even is when the value they bring in as a new employee equals what you pay them. So if you pay someone $60,000 a year as a sales rep to bring in more revenue and they hit $60,000 for the year, they're breaking even. They're not actually returning or getting more out of what you're paying. This is your baseline before profit. Once they pass that break-even point, they are contributing to the growth of your full business. How do you calculate this break-even point? I want to teach you just a simple framework you can think of when you're deciding, is it a good time to hire for me? So step 1 is identify the total monthly cost of the hire. That of course includes salary or contractor pay. It might include payroll taxes, both state and federal if they're an employee. And it could include things like tools, training, software, and your time for onboarding them. Every time I add an employee, I have to think, is it worth adding them for $10 a month for this software, $50 a month for this software, $100 a month for this software. There are some shared logins we use, and otherwise we don't add everyone to every software because we have a tax team, a bookkeeping team, an operations team. They don't need to be in all the things. Step 2 is estimate the value that they create. And for you, this is a great baseline goal setting for them for, say, their first 90 days to 6 months. How much revenue generated will help or increase your business, or how much revenue freed up so you can focus on the higher level clients or the higher value tasks. I always say your founders should not be doing the $10 and $100 an hour jobs. They should be doing the $1,000 and $10,000 an hour jobs so that their employees can learn and grow in those smaller tasks. And then you want to compare those two. If they cost $4,000 a month, they need to generate at a minimum or free up time of at least $4,000 in value. For example, as you can tell, I am on these social medias all the time, but I'm not editing these videos. For an example, let's talk about you and your content creation. Maybe it's a podcast editor, maybe it's a video editor. Let's say you pay that editor $3,000 a month. They free up 20 hours of your time. If your hourly value is $200 per hour, that's $4,000 of potential revenue that you can now focus on other tasks. That result is $4,000 value minus a $3,000 cost. It's a $1,000 net gain to you. That's positive ROI hire right there. Let's say you've already hired your lower level people and you're ready to hire a manager. It can be a production manager, it could be a marketing manager, it could be an operations manager. So many different types that you could look for to help you. Let's say that manager costs $5,000 a month. They improve maybe operations, brand deals, or brand recognition, or streamline workflows even. Their business revenue revenue increases from $20K to $28,000 a month. That would be awesome. That's an incremental gain of $8,000. And after their salary, that's still a net gain of $3,000 and no more work on you. The big insight here is managers often create indirect but powerful ROI for businesses, especially small businesses. So what are some small signs that you're ready to hire? Number one is you are consistently turning down opportunities. That is a huge red flag or a green flag in your mind saying, maybe it's time, maybe I need to hire. And a lot of times people pause right there because they're like, I don't have my systems written down. I don't have my processes. I can tell you that if you hire the right person, they should be able to write out those processes themselves. You can record a loom, you can show them how it's done, and hopefully they can run with it. Number two, if you are stuck in low value tasks, editing, admin, emails, that's right there. VA, easy. Editor, easy. Find someone, even overseas. I have 6 employees in the Philippines who are amazing and they give me a bigger cost savings. If your income is stable enough to support at least 2 to 3 months of payroll, it might be time to hire. Not that you want it to be less than that. I always try to have 3 months of payroll in the bank, but if you are consistently higher and higher and higher than that, you're taking plenty of draws and your payroll and all that stuff for yourself, then it might be time to hire and scale. And number 4 is you know exactly what task you want to delegate. If you're tired of doing it, instead of going towards burnout in your business, hire someone to do that who loves doing that, right? That could be a CPA, it could be a VA, it could be a high school student that needs to run errands. There's so many different things and ways to help your local economy and as well as your pocket. So here are some common hiring mistakes. Number 1, hiring based on emotion and not numbers. It happens. I have made a bad hire or two. I have had to fire my first person a couple years ago. It was awful. I hated it. But a lot of times that comes from pre-stuff not being done correctly, not defining the role correctly, maybe expecting instant ROI when there's always that ramp up period when they're growing and learning the role that you expect and your expectations for them. Or if you are not tracking performances or outcomes, that's on you as the owner. With all of our new employees, I have a 30 and 90 day meeting already scheduled by their first day of work. So my operations manager, who is a lifesaver, puts those on my calendar automatically when she's onboarding a new employee because we know how important it is. And then we have an AI prompt that talks about what that specific job description is and their task and what that looks like going forward for us. So make sure that you don't make those common hiring mistakes. And I'll throw in a fifth one, a tip. If someone is not working out, do not drag them along for 6 months and hope they fix it. If you are not doing a performance improvement plan, if you are not doing weekly check-ins with that person to make sure they're improving, or if you don't see that improvement, let them go. It will actually be a weight lifted from you and then you can hire the right person. So let's talk about some quick tips. Number 1, starting with contractors before full-time hires is way easier. As long as you're following the Department of Labor laws and they are truly contractors for a short period of time, even an extended period of time, it could be a best way to fill it out. I hired all my people as contractors when I was first starting. Number 2 is track your time. Know your hourly value. Know what your time is worth. And more specifically, if you're tracking your time, you know what task you don't want to do anymore. The third one is document your processes before handing them off. So this can be overwhelming if you already are in that burnout process. And there are people that can help with that, but AI is wonderful in helping build out standard operating procedures. If you tell them what task you're doing, what software you're using, how you typically do it, and I use Whisperflow, it's an AI that I can just talk instead of type everything, you have SOP in 5 minutes. You just have to put in and schedule that time on your calendar. And then number 4, treat hiring like an investment decision, not a relief decision. You want to do this to grow your business and your brand, not just, I'm so worn out, I can't do it anymore. So I always say start thinking about hiring before you ever really think about hiring. If this was helpful, hopefully we would love for you to subscribe for practical financial guidance built for content creators like you who are scaling for the long term. See you in the next video. Thanks, guys.